He slept alone until in the deeps of time and the awakening of that people he came to Azanul Bizarre, and in the caves above Khaled Zaram in the east of the misty mountains he made his dwelling, where afterwards were the mines of Moria, renowned in song. There he lived so long that he was known far and wide as Durin the Deathless, yet in the end he died before the elder days had passed, and his tomb was in Khazad-dûm. But his line never failed, and 5 times an heir was born in his house, so like to his forefather that he received the name of Durin. Welcome to Tales of Ada, where we discuss and explore Middle-earth. This video, we cover the life of the father of dwarfs, Durin the First, the Deathless, as well as his legacy after his death. Durin was the eldest of the fathers of the dwarfs. He was created sometimes in the years of the trees by Howe the craftsman, who wanted creatures of his own to whom he would teach his skill. But the 7 fathers of the dwarfs weren't yet independent living creatures, for though Howe of Valar made them, none of the Valar could ever make true life. That power was called the Flame Imperishable. It was with Eru only, and he could only gift it. And so, when Howe had created the dwarfs, Eru came to him and questioned his actions. Then Howe, seeing he had gone against Eru, repented and brought up his hammer to smote them, and they quailed from it, for at that moment they were given life, and Eru stopped Howe, and from then on the dwarfs were called the adopted children of Eru. But the dwarfs could not walk in Middle-earth until the elves Eru, Ilúvatar's firstborn, had awakened. Howe then took the 7 fathers of the dwarfs and placed them in Middle-earth to awaken at some time. Durin was laid at Mount Gundabad in the misty mountains, in the years of the trees. When Durin awoke, he wandered through the desolate and wild lands of Middle-earth, and coming then to a place at the foot of the misty mountains that would be later known as Khaled Zaram. In that lake Durin saw his reflection and a crown of stars about him, taking this as a sign that he would be king and that he should dwell there. And so beside the lake he set up his abode under the mountains, and it was known as Khazad-dûm. And at Khaled Zaram a stone was erected to remember that event. Durin founded the House of Durin, and his people became known as Durin's folk, or the Longbeards. He lived for many years, far longer than any dwarf ever, and he was called the Deathless, but in the end, being still mortal, he died sometime in the late First Age. Yet his legacy was greater than any dwarf, for all dwarfs revered him, and many heirlooms he left behind. The great city of his devising, Khazad-dûm, was greater than any dwarven city. After the passing of Durin the Deathless, the dwarfs believed he would be reincarnated 6 more times and return to be king, and each reincarnation of him would look just like him, and would be at one point the king of the Longbeards. An heirloom of the house of Durin was Durin's axe, a revered weapon likely crafted for Durin the Deathless during his rule. The axe remained lost in Khazad-dûm after its desertion in 1981 of the Third Age, yet in 2994 it was found by Balin's expedition. But not long after they found it, Balin and his companions were all wiped out. And Durin's axe was lost. We don't know what happened to it. Maybe it was found after the destruction of Sauron, but we don't have definitive information. And Durin's debatably greatest legacy was Khazad-dûm, the great city of the dwarfs, that was mighty in its day as a place wealthy with mithril. After Durin's death, and even through his lifetime, every dwarf revered him as the eldest of the dwarfs, and his line passed down from kings to kings, a great dwarf indeed. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and be sure to check out our other videos.